Hey guys, this is Casual with NerdHammer.net, and welcome to round 2 of the 2014 Lords of War tournament. As I explained in the first video, it's 2,500 point uncomped. You get one free magic item for a character. Demons got to pick out of the big red book, and I took the Trickster Helm on Papa Nurgle. So round 2, I have 29 points going in, and I am in first, playing the second ranked player who also had 29 points. This is an Ogre Kingdoms army. This is a really nice guy. His name's Nate. I've seen him at a couple of the local tournaments. He actually runs a podcast on noobhammer.com. That's N-O-O-B hammer.com. Check out his podcast. He has some great insight on the game. I think it's kind of like split 40k and fantasy type stuff. I'm not really into 40k, but So let's get on deployment. And this is one thing I really like about this tournament is they were using in different scenarios. Now this time we set up for Battle for the Pass, which was really cool. There was 4 markers randomly put across the board. The person with the most wounds can control the marker and objective and get tournament points. So Nate's side here we have Saber Tusk on the right. His Iron Blaster is hiding in here behind the Skull Mountain. Small unit of bulls, big unit of guts. Got a butcher in there. What else he got? He got a unit of lead belchers, another unit of lead belchers with the fire belly. I end up finding out the fire belly actually has a hell heart. This was a closeless tournament, by the way. Small unit of Mournfang here, and over on the left side, another small unit of bulls and a Thunder Tusk, which is pretty rare to see, which is awesome to see him run. This is the one with the always strikes last aura. Within 6 inches. I always wanted to build a list with this thing if I played Ogres, just to kind of sit them in the middle of my lines and make everybody strike last with the Ogre Spore initiative. I always thought that was a pretty neat thing. It's a shame. It should be like a 12-inch bubble, I think, to make it better. But yeah, anyway, we discussed this after we set up whether this rock here would be impassable or not. We really couldn't come to terms, so we just rolled off on it. 4, 5, or 6, it was going to be impassable. 1, 2, or 3, it was just going to be a hill. It ended up just being a hill, so that will come into play. On my side for Battle for the Pass, I have my Furies on the left side. I got my BSB's unit here with I put 2 counters on him for the combat resolution. Got my beast, got a skull cannon tucked in behind. I have Papa Nurgle hiding out behind a building because 8th Warhammer says that we need to hide our biggest, baddest characters. And I got a unit of drones and another skull cannon, and I put Epidemius in a building, which was probably an error on my opponent's part for taking that side of the table with Epidemius. But yeah, so here we go. That's just another shot of Epidemius in his Tower of Pain. Or Tower of Cheese, if you will. Demons turn 1, I push up like I should, running a full Nurgle army. I think I take a shot. I think I killed 2 Iron Guts with a cannon. I can't see his cannon, so yeah, not much I can do there. Ogre Kingdoms turn 1. He pushes up like so. I was interested to see him he kind of bottlenecked himself here, but my beasts actually have an easy charge into there. It's not too far. I think I need like an 8 on Swift Stride. Just a little bad positioning right there, but other than that, he push-ups on his side, brings the Skull Cannon or Iron Blaster around to take a shot. So some Lead Belcher shooting does 2 wounds to my single beast out in front, and his Iron Blaster kills my 1 Skull Cannon. So yeah, cannon for hopefully a cannon. Not much I can do. I did throw the extra regen buff on these guys just in case he wanted to make any long charges or shoot them, with his lead belchers, so they actually have a 3-up regen at this point. Turn 2 demons. So this is after combat. I do make that long charge with the beast into the flank of the Mournfang and overrun, but I actually rolled 1-1-2 for my pursue, and I was not able to get into the flank of the Thunder Tusk. These Furies actually charged the bulls. It was a pillow fight, and I beat him by 1 for the charge. So I tried to pursue, but I overran into this thing. So at least that chaps that thing up for a turn. But yeah, I can't believe the beast couldn't get into the flank of there. That would have been helpful. Turn 2, Ogre Kingdoms. So in my turn, I tried to charge these beasts into his unit of bulls that were over here. I didn't need much. I think it was, I don't know, 8 or 9 maybe on Swift Stride, and I failed it. And when I failed it, my Plague Drones also failed the same charge, and I was like, uh-oh. Man, he has an easy charge with those Iron Guts, and they're going to overrun into my Plague Drones. And I'm like, man, did I really screw it up that bad? And so that's what he does. He makes both of the charges in. That poor beast is going to get slaughtered, and now my drones are just sitting ducks. They're going to get, ogre charged by Iron Guts and a unit of bulls. Just poor positioning, and Papa Nurgle's way out of position to even counter charge this. Yeah, that was just poor. I have Papa Nurgle kind of hiding because of the Iron Blaster, and yeah, it's just really bad positioning there. So yeah, after combat, that's exactly what happens. He gets into my drones. At least they'll be fought on my turn, which hopefully maybe I'll have the tally up and they'll be, higher toughness. So over here, yeah, after combat, he killed the plague drone, or he killed the Furies and reformed to face the beasts. Turn 3 demons. This is after combat. I moved Papa Nurgle around to get out of the overrun of the Iron Guts and hopefully a counter charge. So he comes in and his Iron Guts go to town. I actually have -1 ward save from my magic on this turn, which is like the worst time I could possibly get it, right? He slaughters the drones. I think there's a drone left with maybe 1 or 2 wounds, and I said, well, it looks like he got the drones, and I'm like, the only thing that could save me is Snake Eyes, and I Snake Eyes. This was the moment of the tournament where I was like, things might be looking pretty good for my demons. He could not believe that I chucked Snake Eyes. What is it, a 1 in 36 chance for that to happen? So all the drones come back with full life. Unfortunately, I have no way to help them out right at the moment. It's going to be, another round of combat before I could do anything, and his Iron Guts are extremely pissed off at this point. After combat here, I do take the beast into the Stonehorn, make short work of him, and reform to face his Lead Belchers, who are in my face at this point. This unit, my unit with my BSB, I've been trying to make some long charges just to get them back into the center of the table to reinforce this combat, or get these Lead Belchers. They just keep failing. I needed a 9 at one point, needed an 8, needed 7, so they're just kind of slowly working their way over. So Ogre's turn 3. After combat, I end up popping the Plague Drones anyway. So he reforms, but at least now I can charge in with Papa Nurgle. The Epidemius' tally is up pretty high at this point. I definitely have +1 strength, +1 toughness. I may have Killing Blow, but it doesn't matter against Ogres, of course. So yeah, I'm setting up a nice charge. It's time to go in against these Iron Guts, especially with Papa Nurgle. I think he can handle them. I pop Epidemius' bunker out of the house and leave him in it, just so that I can support this unit next turn. I did this on my turn 3. Turn 4 demons. I took these beasts and I charged his Lead Belchers. They slaughtered the Lead Belchers. I now have a couple plus combat res. You can only get 2. You can only get up to a maximum of 2, but you can hold more than 2. So I slaughtered the Lead Belchers and overran into his Fire Belly. So things are just collapsing on this flank for my opponent. And I charge the Plague Bearers into his unit of bulls. I killed them and overran into the flank. I charged Papa Nurgle in here, so we were fighting this after this, and got some buffs up. I think I got the weapon skill debuff on his Iron Guts, and I got a toughness debuff on the Iron Guts. So they're -2 weapon skill and -1. So they're going to be hitting me on like nothing, and I think 6s to hit Papa Nurgle. And of course, if they wound him, they're re-rolling the wounds on him. So, I mean, it's so cheesy. It was just so cheesy, and I knew it going in, but you still got to roll the dice and see how it plays out, I guess. So after combat here, even with his +2 combat res. He does stick around. I think he's down to his Butcher BSB. He might have 1 gut in there, 2 guts maybe. But this combat definitely went my way. Papa Nurgle only has 1 wound on him somehow. The Plague Bearers didn't take any wounds, so that's awesome. Also bringing this unit over, trying to get them closer, get them into Lead Belchers or protect the flank here if they come in somehow. But yeah, I think the tides are turning pretty quickly. Ogres Kingdoms turn 4, and you can see my tally is at full now. After combat, yeah, I do break the Iron Guts and ran him down with Papa Nurgle. His pursue was not far. I think he might have snake eyes his pursue roll. Yeah, things are just going downhill for my opponent, unfortunately. He turns to face this unit to shoot at my Iron or my other Plague Bearer unit. These beasts make short work of his Fire Belly and face his other unit. I think there's a Saber Tusk up in his corner and a unit of bulls. So they're just going to go up there. There's objective marker up there, so they're going to contest that before the game's over. This objective marker I should be good on. I'm going to change these guys over. I should be able to get all the objective markers before the end of the game. Turn 5 demons. I go into Lead Belchers, break them, and overrun. So now this unit will get that marker. The beasts are going to go up there, get that marker. This unit is going to go over, get the other marker, and Epidemius has the other marker. So yeah, that was it. It was a good game. Nate took it very well because I mean he understood he understood the cheese that was coming at him, and he put up a valiant effort. I honestly think this game would have been a lot different had I not rolled those snake eyes on the plague drones. That was really backbreaking. You know, you get in, you get a big unit off the table, and you're ready to, with a lot of guys left, and you're ready to make some moves, and all of a sudden you have to go through another 12 wounds on, you know, toughness 6 plague drones. It was just a round of combat that he really didn't need to have to go through again. It was just a little bit of luck. At the end of it, I did win. I got a 32-1 or 32-0. I think he actually got a point or two. But I got 61. No, actually, he didn't get a point because that's right, I got all the objectives. So 61 points overall. I got 32 points in that game. I got all his tokens. So I don't know how many I have, 10 or 12 going into round 3. And round 3 is against another nerdhammer.net player, Justin. It's going to be a Nerdhammer Civil War for the trophy, perhaps, maybe, unless we somehow draw and let someone else leapfrog us. But let's see how it goes. And thanks for watching, guys. Come back for round 3.